In this video, we're going to be doing lesson 5.4, which is solving quadratics by graphing. When we talk about solving quadratics, we're talking about finding the x-intercepts. And we're actually going to be learning several different methods for solving these quadratics. So before we do that, there are three different number of solutions that you can have. 2, 1, or 0. So a quadratic could have two x-intercepts, one x-intercept, or 0 x-intercept. And a quadratic that has 2 crosses the x-axis 2 times. 1, 2. This is a possible example. There are lots of different possibilities. A quadratic that has one solution crosses 1 time. So it basically sits on the x-axis. And then a quadratic that has 0 x-intercepts, something like this. It doesn't cross at all. So when we solve, now I do want to remind you of something I told you earlier, and you're going to write this several times because it's that important. There are 4 terms that mean the same thing. X-intercept, solution, root, and 0. If I say find the 0, find the solution, I'm talking about the x-intercepts. So we're going to graph these on our calculator. Sometimes you'll be given a graph already and you just have to look at it, but I want to practice actually graphing. So we're going to go into x equals, and then we're going to type in our function, x squared plus 2x minus 3. We want to be as precise as possible, which means we want to get as many points as we can by going to the table. And so to get to the table, we're going to click Second Graph. And that's going to take us to the table. You may have to scroll up or down to find some points that will fit, but basically this one, these all go like 8 and negative 8. So any number bigger than 8, you won't be able to fit on there. So we can fit -4, 5, -3, 0, -2, -3, -1, -4, 0, -3. I'm just going down on here and just writing those down. And I've ran out of room, so I'm going to have to make another table. If I keep looking, 1, 0. This is in my way. 2, 5. And that's it. So I'm going to graph all of those. And then we're going to draw this in the best we can. Sometimes they look a little wonky. That's okay. This side definitely needs to be more rounded. Oh well. So we're looking for the x-intercepts. They're here and here. That's where it crosses the x-axis. So this is the point -3, 0, and the point 1, 0. Now on these, you don't have to write out the table. I just wanted to write that to show you. So from here on, you don't have to do that. You can just plot them. So going back to y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. And then I'm going to go look at the table, second graph. And it looks like this one is the first one that will fit. 0, 8, 1, 3.
This is the last call for anyone
2,
who has
0.
not had a picture made today. Anyone who has
3,
not had a picture
negative
made
1.
today, last call for pictures.
Sorry about that. 4, 0, 5, 3, and 6, 8. So you want to put as many that will actually fit on your graph. Those are the only ones that would fit in the space that I had. Ooh, I did a really bad job there. Okay. So my x-intercepts are here and here. That would be at 2, 0, and 4, 0. Okay. And then the last one, oops. All right, go back to y equals negative x squared minus 11x minus 28. And we're going to go to the table. We can do -8, -4, -7, 0, -6, 2, -5, 2, -4, 0, and -3, -4. And it looks something like that. There's my x-intercepts at -4, 0, and -7, 0. Now I want to show you an example of one that if we graph it, it may not fall with the x-intercepts right on the line. So I'm just going to make up one. Here, I found one. All right, notice how these do not cross exactly on the line. They're really close, but they're not exact. So if you have an example like this, I'm going to write down some buttons that you can do in the calculator. That's going to help you find like the exact decimal for these. So we're going to go to second trace, second trace, and we're going to go down to number 2 because that's the 0. Now there's 2 different ones, so we have to do one at a time. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to say left bound. That means we're going to take this cursor somewhere to the left of our x-intercept. So I'm going to go left. So it would be about right there. I'm going to go left a few clicks and hit enter. And then it asks for right bound. So there's my x-intercept. I'm going to go right just a little bit and hit enter. And you should see 2 dotted lines. Your x-intercept should be somewhere between those dotted lines. If you look really closely, it is. And it'll tell you to guess. Just hit enter again. And so now I know that my x-intercept is at negative 6.140. Let's try this again, but let's go to our other one. We have to go back to second trace, and we're clicking on number 2. Okay, so we're going to go to this x-intercept. So I'm going to get it as close to that x-intercept as I can. And then I'm going to go left just a few clicks, 2 or 3 clicks left. And then I'm going to put it back on the x-intercept, and I'm going to go right just 2 or 3 clicks. Your x-intercept should be between those 2 dotted lines. Hit enter, and it gives us our x-intercept at 1.140. This probably will not come up very often, but in the case that it does, I wanted to show you. You could also you have another option. You could also just click the trace button, and you can move anywhere along there, and you can get pretty close. But just using the trace is, for some reason, is not going to put you right on it. So you can't really get super close. You can't get exact. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Have a good day.